Okay, folks, you are going to continue today doing function notation on the Desmos calculator. We're going to practice that one more day. And what I want to remind you about is a couple of things. First of all, remember your function notation. So this says a function of x equals, let's say it is 5x plus 3. So a function of x is equal to 5 times x plus 3. Okay, now to remind you here what these things are, the f, of course, is the name and lets you know that this is a function. The x inside the parentheses is your input. And then the 5x plus 3 that we're seeing is our function rule. So it tells us how to get the output. It says to do 5 times whatever x is and add 3. So that is the rule. Now, what we discussed yesterday is that to do these problems on the calculator, there are certain times that you are going to have to add parentheses. So we add parentheses when x is raised to any power. So x squared we should write as x in parentheses squared. X to the 10th power we should write as x in parentheses raised to the 10th power. X to the 75th power we should write as x in parentheses raised to the 75th power. So if we want to get these right on the calculator, this is one of the times that we absolutely have to add parentheses. We also need to add parentheses when there is a number in front of the x, which is being multiplied by that x. So if I see 5 times x, I need to think of that as 5 parentheses x. That's how I need to write it. If I see negative 17x, I need to think of that as negative 17 parentheses x. If I see 235x, just kind of showing you that it doesn't matter what that number is, we do it the same. That would be 235 parentheses x. So those are the two times. If I see x raised to any power, I've got to put that x, just that x, in parentheses. And if I see a number in front of x that's multiplying it, then I need to put just that x in parentheses. So let me do, let's see, about 3 examples with you here to get you going again on this. And we'll go from there. All right, so I'm going to give you today, just like I did yesterday, a function rule. So a function of x is equal to 5x plus 3x squared. 5x plus 3x squared. So the first thing I'm going to do, oh, and I need to tell you what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to find f of a negative 4. F of a negative 4. All right, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this function rule and add the parentheses. So here I have a number in front of this x. So it's 5 times x. I need parentheses there. So 5 parentheses x plus 3x squared. My x is being squared, so that x needs to be wrapped in parentheses as well. So both of the x's that I see in this problem are going to need to get those parentheses. All right, so now that I've rewritten it like this, and when I look at your written work that you're going to send me or that I'm going to see after the break, then I'm going to want to see that you did that step on your paper. All right, so now we're going to input negative 4 for these x's. So we're going to do 5 parentheses negative 4 plus 3 parentheses negative 4 squared. And then I'm going to go straight to my Desmos calculator and type that in. So notice what I did. I took the rule and I rewrote it, adding the parentheses that were necessary. Then I input my number, and now I'm going to type it in and get my final answer. So it's a 3-step process. Rewrite the rule with parentheses, insert the number, input the number, and now we're going to type it in. All right, so here we go. It's going to be 5 parentheses negative 4, close parentheses, plus 3 parentheses negative 4, close parentheses, and square. And when I'm all done, then I see my output right there. So on this problem, the answer should be 28. But let me stress again, you needed parentheses here because it was 5 times x. There's a number in front of x. So that's why we put those there. And then here, you had x to the second power. That's the other time I need those parentheses. So that's why we're doing that. All right. Example 2. Let's do f of x is equal to x to the 4th power minus x plus 7. And we're going to find f of negative 1. Now, first thing I'm going to do is take this rule and rewrite it, adding parentheses. I see x a couple of times. All right, so first I have x to the 4th power. Because he has an exponent, he will need parentheses. Minus x. No exponent, no number in front. So he's okay the way he is. And then plus 7. So this x needs parentheses because of this exponent. This x doesn't need parentheses because there is no exponent and there is no number here. I want to make sure that's clear. All right, so now we've got it rewritten with parentheses added. Now we put in the number. So it's going to be negative 1 to the 4th power minus a negative 1 plus 7. So notice how careful I have to be right here. There's a minus in the problem, and then I'm filling in negative 1 for the x. So I need the minus and that negative. I need both signs. All right, so now I've got it written down the way I want to type it in. So here we go. We're going to do parentheses negative 1. To raise something to the 4th power, notice you have a to the 2nd power here, and right next door you have a to the b power. So you're going to hit the a to the b power and put in your 4. What I want you to notice is the cursor is tiny and stays next to that 4. So what you will need to do is click out here beside it and move that cursor back down. All right, then we've got minus negative 1 and then plus 7. And we see there our output on this problem should be 9. So rewrite it with parentheses, plug in the number, type it in. Is the way we want to do this. All right, so we're going to do one more. Let's do a function of x is equal to the absolute value of x squared minus 2x. And for this, let's find f of a negative 5. All right. So first, we're going to rewrite this, inserting parentheses where they are needed. So I've got absolute value of x squared. That x is being raised to a power, so he does need parentheses. Then I see minus 2x. That x will need parentheses as well because of that 2 in front of him. So this x needs parentheses because of the exponent. This x needs parentheses because of that 2 that's in front of him. All right, so I've got it rewritten. Now let's plug in the number. So it's going to be the absolute value of negative 5 squared minus 2 times negative 5. So I rewrote the rule with parentheses. I plugged in my number. Now it's time to go to the calculator and do a little typing. Don't forget your absolute value bars are right here with the absolute value of a. We're going to do parentheses, negative 5, close parentheses, squared, minus 2, parentheses, negative 5, close parentheses, and then close your absolute value bars. You'll see your output there is 35, so 35 is your answer. So 3 steps. Rewrite the rule using parentheses if necessary. They are necessary when x is raised to an exponent or when x has a number in front of it. Plug in the number and then type very carefully exactly the way you see it written on your paper and give me your answer. So that's just a quick reminder. Try today's set of problems, and once again, email me if there are questions or issues, things you're having trouble with. Tomorrow will be our last day before Christmas break. For those of you who watch this video on Friday or on Thursday, the way you're supposed to, Friday is going to be a makeup day. For those of you who are finished with everything, you've turned in all the assignments, it's a day off for you. So enjoy the beginning of your Christmas break. I hope you have a really Merry Christmas. Those of you who are not done, that'll give you a day to kind of continue to catch up. Contact me if there are questions. I'll be checking my email, and we'll be glad to get back to you.